Thank you. Let me start or thank the honorable parliamentarian for your comments. And then the speaker before you talked about whether the African parliamentarians have the right or whatever to amend or suspend or otherwise withdraw from treaties. Treaties are legal issues. They are not things that just come about overnight and they say, oh, everybody, let's run to Washington or let's go to London and go and sign. There are, first of all, drafts. There are discussions. A lot of discussions go on for a while. There are drafts. And that's the reason why I said the parliament, that what we're doing here now, what is taking place here, has been taking place here in Uganda in the last 3 years, is at the root and is the beginning of the end of this type of problem surface. Because these things often are legal frameworks. And for all legal frameworks, the parliament has a lot to do with it. No law you cannot create any law without the parliament passing them. It's not possible, even in a dictatorship, even during military regimes, they still have to make laws to govern the country. So, treaties are not things that come about. That's why I said we need to ask ourselves a lot of questions. Do we have common interests in the first place? Because I suppose the reason why all these parliamentarians are gathered here from different countries is because we want to unite our interests, because there are clearly different interests across the continent. Then to go to your question, there's nowhere, I think the parliamentarians have an African parliamentarians union where they meet. I mean, the African parliamentarians council where they meet, where you can use that opportunity parliamentarians can use that opportunity to narrow their differences. But in terms of multilateral treaties, or treaties that require so many countries to sign, like the Samoa Agreement, that requires between the EU and the African nations, it's something that the parliament should have carefully looked into. It's not something for a political leader to send, just maybe a special assistant or a couple of guys who are in their political party to run to the UK or run to Samoa and go and sign something. Whereas some of these documents too are also maybe at the Ministry of Justice or at the level of that level or at the committee level. These things should be subjected to public debate. Parliament must exist. That's why there are constituencies. They must be subjected to debate. And then legal experts like your bar associations and those who are involved in those things must make their opinions known before Parliament can take a decision to allow their government to go and enter into such agreement. If we are able to get into that type of robust situation, then some of these things may become things of the past. But if we continue the way we are, where nobody knows when any agreement is signed, how many people know anything? How many Africans know about the Samoa? How many people, Africans even know about the Cotonou Protocol? Nobody knows. People just come to hear. Even when the NGOs are shouting, their voices are often drowned. So Parliament must give role to the NGO, to their bar associations, to the public, to know what is in an agreement of that nature before it can be signed before they can agree to allow themselves to be used into that office. And I believe that the closer, the more united parliamentarians are, the less problem we are going to have. Thank you.